hopefully, first things first, can everyone hear me okay? I'm finishing up setup here for the game. I need to use the camera to make sure we can see stuff decently. We're not gonna be able to fit everything on there, but that's okay. All out abilities and things I'm using. I'm going to play 2 summons on the base game set, and I really want to be able to show the creatures, so it is what it is as far as camera goes. Well, maybe I can zoom up a little bit. There we go. That helps. That helps cover a few things. I'm also going to be playtesting the Fire Sorceress. Todd was down yesterday and we playtested some of the new characters we're working on, and the Fire Sorceress was not tested yesterday, so I'm going to mix her in with these old people because mixing and matching characters sometimes helps us see what is broken, or combinations that people can exploit and stuff like that. And as far as the game goes, I'm going to do my best to play for an hour or so. So I'm just going to make sure I don't get any respites, but I'm going to pick a couple. A couple location cards here for us to use. Everything else I can put in the box, and we're almost ready to go. Okay, I think we're all set up. So hi to all of you watching. Thanks for joining me, and we're doing this stream as part of Shut Up and Sits Down's online convention called AWSHUX. So if you're joining us from there, pleasure to meet you, happy to have you. The show just started, the online show, so hopefully it's successful and you guys have a terrific show and enjoy it this weekend. We'll be back streaming with the Shut Up and Sit Down guys on Sunday, streaming this on Tabletop Simulator with them. So I'm sure that the picture will be better than the live action stuff, but I like using the production copy I have when I get the chance. And then we'll also be showing off a new game that we're working on with them as well called Seas of Havoc, which will be Sunday morning as well. So those are the 2 big streams we're really looking forward to. Sort of as a kickoff to the show, I thought I'd do a couple live streams and playthroughs and playtests and sort of be available for anyone attending the show to answer any questions about our games. But first, I'm going to demo, set up Swords of the Coin here. And once I demo this for a little bit, I'm going to take a break and get something to eat real quick, and then we'll be back to play test and show off Merchants of Magic. Both of these games should be coming out before the end of the year in your local store, so hopefully seeing them in action will get you excited to look into playtesting them or demoing them in the future. So I'm going to switch cameras over here so you don't have to look at me, you can look at the game primarily. If there's any problems with the stream, I do have the chat up on my computer here, so feel free to chime in there with any questions as I'm playing, or problems with technology. So for this game, this is Swords of the Coin. Swords of the Coin is a cooperative game set in sort of a fantasy universe. The big threat is there's a bunch of acolytes trying to bring back these big bad guys called the Unhallowed. They're sort of the boss characters, or the strongest creatures in the game. And the game is played over a series of rounds where you visit different locations, which you can't really see on the board, but there's these location cards which tell you how many creatures you face. And Swords of the Coin adds this new merchant board. So you can upgrade your character as you play with items and earn coins by doing camp actions. And for this playtest, I'm going to be playing the Monk, which is a new character from Swords of the Coin, the Bounty Hunter, because I needed some range, who's a new character for Swords of the Coin, the Heretic, who used to work for the people, the Acolytes, trying to resurrect the Unhallowed, and is now a mercenary for good. And then move all this over a little bit so we can see as much as possible. And last but not least, I've got, which is actually perfect, I've got the Fire Sorceress, which is a new character I'm playtesting, sort of off the side. So with that, I'm going to get started sort of running you through the game. The game's played over rounds, as I said, and each round is broken up into two phases, the camp phase and the watch phase. So before you make a decision who's going to rest in camp, everyone needs to roll their dice. And one of my favorite things about this game is because there's no real turns, everyone sort of acts simultaneously. When you're playing as a cooperative game, it's a great sort of collaborative experience. And then when you are playing solo, it also makes it sort of very easy to solo. And I know it's quite popular to solo, which is great. So now that I have my die results, I can sort of look at how poorly or well I rolled and pick who rests in camp. Typically over the course of a full game, everyone needs to rest in camp at least twice. The game's played over 9 rounds, so everyone rests twice in everyone rests once during the first 8 rounds until everyone's rest twice. And then the final round, the 9th round, is the big final location battle, which we won't get to in this stream, but just for future reference for anyone new to the game, that's sort of how it culminates. And the goal is, of course, to make sure that all of your cards are up. These cards are not only our abilities, but also our health. So you can see everyone starts with one of their cards exhausted. So the Monk's Internal Strike is currently down and not active. So now that we've rolled dice, we can pick who rests in camp. You typically want to send someone who rolled pretty poorly, like the Heretic, into camp. But the Monk has a unique camp ability which upgrades their dice. So I actually think it's pretty beneficial to send them to camp early. So I'm going to start with the Monk resting in camp. So they'll take one of these rest tokens. There's a ×1 and ×2 on each side. And they'll just place it on their board to remember that they've rested at least once. Now this player will take camp actions. One of the new things about the game is that there are coins in each camp location. So when you take that action, you collect the coin and we'll put it over on this board, which I'll move over a little bit. The merchant board, and you can spend those coins at the end of the camp phase. There's a new merchant phase where we can buy some items. So I'll just walk you through a few rounds here so everyone has a good sense of how to play the game. So I'm actually going to rest the Monk because I have a 6, which I can use to heal. So the person resting heals their card, and then I can spend my exact 6 to heal another player. And I think let's heal the Fire Sorceress over here. I'm going to heal Inferno, which is subject to change, of course, as a character we're playtesting, but currently it is deal the current fire value as damage to a reveal creature, and then lose 4 fire. Your fire is represented by this meter over here, and the brighter your fire burns, your campfire burns at night, the more creatures you can see in the line. So the Fire Sorceress is going to be the first character that we have that actually can sort of manipulate that firewood during the watch phase and during combat, which is sort of a new design space that we think is interesting, and we hope eventually it becomes part of the game. So the Monk's going to heal. The Monk's going to use their camp action on their board. Everyone has a unique camp action. to meditate, and I'm going to upgrade. It lets me upgrade a die twice. I'm going to upgrade this D6 to one of my D10s. Nope, I did not mute my phone. I'm sorry. Spam anyway. So I'm going to upgrade this die to a D10. That's part of the reason I wanted the monk to go early, because they can make themselves stronger throughout the course of the game. They can engine build a little bit. And then for my last action, so I don't get walloped in the first round, I'm going to scout ahead. Scouting ahead lets me look at the top 2 cards of the creature deck and rearrange them in any order that I want. So the first thing I want to get rid of is this Floating Mind, because abilities can only be activated with a die result of 3 or higher if they stay out, making my Heretic low die rolls really bad. Well, it's a low creature though. Maybe I'll leave it and I'll just defeat it early. So I'm going to leave these creatures. No, I'm going to put him on the bottom. I'm going to put the Floating Mind on the bottom, and I can put the Scarecrow back on top of the creature deck. Camp phase complete. The next phase, actually, I'm wondering if I can put this, because you can't really see it. I was like, I can use our quick reference guide, but maybe I can just read off it. So we finished the camp phase. All the camp actions are described on the back of player boards. We're entering the merchant phase now. We only have 2 coins. So we could purchase items from the market, and let's do that because just as an example. So let's purchase the Garnet necklace and give it to the Heretic, and if any vampires or undead come along, they can sort of be defeated with that. Then we refresh the market with new items. If we purchase anything, if we don't purchase anything, a new item will enter anyway. And then we'll take these extra coins, and each action that we didn't take in camp will get a coin, incentivizing us to take those actions and collect more coins. That's the end of the merchant phase, so that's pretty quick. Now we're entering the watch phase, and this merchant phase is new for Swords of the Coin. Watch phase is, we're going to first prepare the creature line based on our location. We're facing 8 creatures, so we're starting out pretty tough. So I'll do my best to fit this line of creatures is trying to enter our camp. And we'll just, you know what we'll do like a Z wrap around. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures. And our goal is to clear this line of creatures using our dice and abilities. And if we can successfully clear this line of creatures, we're not going to take any damage. We're doing well. But the goal of each round is to make sure you don't take damage from creatures or let them slip through and enter the horde. I did add my horde card as well. Okay. Our firewood is currently burning at the level 2. So we'll reveal 2 creatures. We've got that Scarecrow, which we knew about, and the Frostworm in second position. Now, if our firewood was higher, we could potentially see 3 creatures, but now we're dealing with this line of the unknown, and we're trying to either attack these creatures with our dice, matching or exceeding their health to defeat them, or, of course, we can try to use our abilities, and abilities can be activated by placing a die on them. So let's look at our abilities here. So now this would open to everyone on watch. Whether it was 3 players or solo, there's no turns. The players, once the line is sort of finished reacting to the firelight, any player can take an action, and then we resolve that action, the line reacts, and then players can take another turn. So typically we would discuss sort of the abilities and things we can do. There's always a lot of different options and ways to solve each round. And of course, you're working with imperfect information. So I'm thinking about using Track 'em Down with the Bounty Hunter to see more cards. Reveal up to 2 creatures. If either creature type matches one of your trophies, then set your unspent dice to their maximum value. I don't have any trophies yet, but I'll collect them as I defeat cards. But maybe we should deal with that Frostworm first, and then the Bounty Hunter could take the Scarecrow as a bounty. But let's go through the abilities, since you guys probably can't read them online. The Bounty Hunter has Track 'em Down, which reveals those 2 creatures. Exploit defeats a revealed creature in line whose type matches one of my trophies. So the Bounty Hunter isn't going to be super effective until they collect some trophies by defeating creatures with direct attacks. The Heretic has the Pact of Doom, which is look at the health of the top card of the Unhallowed deck, then defeat a creature with lower or equal health. So currently we have a 9 on top of the Unhallowed deck with this creature. So we could defeat any creature whose health is 9 or lower with that. But then we shuffle the topmost Unhallowed in the graveyard back into the creature deck. So it's a good time to use Pact of Doom when we don't have a graveyard or Unhallowed in there. Last but not least, they have Commune, which is currently down, so we'll come back to that ability later. The monk is resting, so we won't go over that. But I will read the Fire Sorceress's abilities that we're playtesting, because I will be focusing on trying to do a lot of stuff with her. She has Engulf, defeat the creature in X position, where X is equal to the campfire reveal level, and then you lose 2x of the position you use. So if I killed a creature, the current reveal level is currently 2, so I could kill the Frostworm in 2nd position, and then I would lose 4 firewood, because it would be 2 times the position I choose. I have Inferno, which is deal the current firewood, which is 7 value as damage to a revealed creature, and then I lose 4 firewood. And then I've got Ember Flare, which is reveal 2 creatures in the line, then gain fire equal to the total damage of the just revealed creatures. So I'm going to start by using Ember Flare. So I would take a die, and I would place it on the card, and then I do as much as I can of that action. So I'm going to reveal 2 creatures. I'll reveal what we have in line here coming up. We've got Coffin Rats and the Crawling Ooze. Crawling Ooze is a problem because they are immune to direct attacks. We can discard an item on watch to defeat the Crawling Ooze. So I could discard this Garlic Necklace to defeat the Crawling Ooze, if it comes to that. I gain fire equal to total damage. The total damage is here in the upper left of the card. So we have a 1 and a 2 for a total of 3 firewood. So our firewood's actually going to go up to 10. The Fire Sorceress is ranged, so I'm going to use this 8 as a direct attack to defeat this Frostworm. For 8, the Frostworm will go to the graveyard, and then the line reacts and all the creatures will move forward, changing their position. And now that the lines react, players could take another turn. So I think for the most part, you've probably seen most of the rules for the game. So I'll try to just talk through my decisions and what I'm doing as far as abilities and attacks go moving forward. So the Scarecrow is, for each adventurer resolving a direct attack against the Scarecrow, they must use their highest die. So I have a 6. I have a 6. I'm going to use that 6 to kill the Scarecrow. It's the highest available die for the Bounty Hunter. And the Bounty Hunter will collect the Scarecrow as a trophy. I'm going to put these abilities that I'm not using a little more off to the side, because I probably won't do much equipping. And that'll just, everyone moves up. And now I have a trophy, which means I can use some of my abilities, and I'm very strong against other golem creatures now currently. So when we come across other giants and golems, I'll be able to use these abilities that reference my trophy types. I'm going to use Pact of Doom on the Heretic, which is look at the health of the top card of the Unhallowed deck, which is a 9. And then defeat a creature with lower or equal health. So I'm going to use that to defeat the Crawling Ooze. And I would shuffle the topmost Unhallowed in the graveyard back into the creature deck, but we don't have any of those. Now the Poison Spider has struck. The Poison Spider's ability is an adventurer with no exhausted abilities must immediately exhaust one. So that means the Fire Sorceress is going to lose an ability. I'm going to lose Inferno. So I will flip it over to its exhausted side. And basically, the Fire Sorceress has two hits left before they're fully exhausted. My dice are low, so I'm probably going to have to use abilities to get through the rest of this. I'm going to use Track 'em Down to reveal up to 2 creatures in the line. Undead and Dragon. And then if either of those creature types mask my trophies, I would set my dice to maximum, but it doesn't. I only have the 1 Golem, and those were an Undead and a Dragon. But we have made the Coffin Rat swarms weaker. The Coffin Rat's ongoing ability is that its health is increased by the number of unrevealed creatures in the line. So currently there's only 1, so this is a 6 and a 7. And if we reveal this last card, they'll just be the numbers printed on the card. Okay. So the Heretic is going to use a 1 to activate Corpse Pyre, which is look at the health of the top creature of the graveyard, then defeat a real creature in the line with lower or equal health. I'm going to defeat the Frostworm because 7 health is less than 8 health. And then we are going to use, we can combine dice for an attack. But I'll probably end up exhausting abilities here. Okay, I'm going to use this 5 as a direct attack with the Fire Sorceress, shoot a Fire Blast, and defeat the Poison Spider. We have 2 Coffin Rats. This is a 7 and this is a 6 because we have 1 unrevealed card. And I'm going to exhaust Act of Doom to kill this creature, which was a 7. Okay, undead. So hopefully we can get through these last 2 cards. They're both undead. Unfortunately, the Bounty Hunter does not have an undead card. I think we're going to have to let those Coffin Rats through. I don't think we can beat both of them without. So what we'll do is I'm going to play Engulf to defeat the creature in 2nd position, which is this 10. The undead, the Bone Knight comes back to life if there's an Acolyte in line, or an Unhallowed, but we don't have to deal with that now. I'm going to exhaust Engulf to do that. That's defeat the creature in X position where X is equal to the campfire reveal level, and then I lose 4 firewood. So I'm going to go down to 6. So I would only be revealing 1 card in the future. And then I do not have enough dice to defeat this creature with a direct attack. So I guess what I may as well do is take exhaust Corpse Pyre, meaning that the Heretic is fully exhausted and going to have to rest next turn. But Corpse Pyre will use the health of the top of the graveyard and kill the Coffin Rat Swarm at 5. So I was 1 pip short of defeating them. So now that the line's clear, the round is over. We didn't have anyone enter the Horde. That creature I was able to defeat. If I wasn't able to defeat it, I would have exhausted a card anyway, and the card would be added to the Horde. So it's better to do an exhaust an ability and take the hit. The Heretic is fully exhausted and must rest. So hopefully they roll a 6. Oh, they did not. And then last but not least, we have the Monk with their D10 dice, which was a 7. Okay. 7, 7, 6. 2, 5, 7 here. Put the dice above. and 2, 3, 3 here. Not great. So we're going to rest Heretic, and we'll refresh Pact of Doom as our free heal. Take our rest token. And then we'll do some runes. I'm going to bolster and vanquish with my doubles. Vanquish means this card that's in the horde for the final round will be removed from the game. I don't have to worry about that big boss that starts in there. And bolster is going to let me re-roll any dice that I want to. So I'm going to re-roll these. Slightly better from the monk. Slightly better from the hunter. And then with my last dice, I think I have to chop firewood, which will get me 2 coins over here, and move the firewood up to 2. So we're seeing 2 creatures. And then last but not least, I do have 3 coins to spend on items, and I'm going to buy this acid vial. The acid vial, you can see here, is you discard it, you throw it at a creature, and you choose a revealed creature in first or second position, and you deal 8 damage directly to that creature. And I'll give that to the monk, so the monk has some range. Each character can hold up to 2 items. So you only get 2 items to hold, but there's a lot of items like that potion, the potions and acid vials, which are one-time use. You throw them, discard them, consume them, and then they're done. So this phase is over. We will fill this up, and then we just have to take a couple coins. There's a lot of these spots are going to fill up in the camp because we didn't take any of those actions. Okay. Oh yeah. Before I put a card on there, I should have revealed. We're only going to see 1 creature because we went to Sunken Civilization, which is 9 creatures. Man, I chose some hard locations here. I did roll a lot better this time, though. There's 5, 6, 7. Here's our path. Creatures coming in. And then we're only seeing 1 creature currently, so I'm going to reveal this one. And it is a Goblin Scouts, which is defeated, reveal a creature in line. Okay. Let's do some reveals first. I'm going to use my Fire Sorceress on Ember Flare, reveal 2 creatures, then gain fire equal to the total damage of the revealed creatures. So we got a summon card. So summon is the only card, this is a great example for demoing and teaching. The summon card is sort of an interrupt card. So normally we would resolve that action, but the summon card actually triggers first, which is choose 1 adventurer to immediately exhaust one of their ability cards. Then discard this card to the graveyard and replace it with the top card of the Unhallowed deck. So it basically is summoning that ghoulish head, and you take a damage as part of that summon. I am going to damage I'm going to take down Track 'em Down. I'll lose Track 'em Down. I don't need the card reveal. So then this card goes to the graveyard. Ghoulish Head comes in, and each undead creature is now 3 health stronger. But there aren't many, so. Okay, let's start with, I'm going to use the 7 on the monks to defeat the Goblin Scouts. When they're defeated, we can reveal a card in the line. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to increase my fire by 3 from revealing those 2 creatures. So up to 9 firewood, because Ember Flare increases that. And then we get to reveal any card we want, because when the goblins are defeated, we can reveal any card. So let's pick pick this card. That is a Bone Knight who, if there's a revealed unhallowed or undead or acolyte in the line, this goes back to the end of the line and resurrects itself instead of dying. So we don't want to kill this until we've killed the Ghoulish Head. And this is 3 points stronger until a Ghoulish Head is dead. So we really want to work on that Ghoulish Head. I'm going to spend 7. I'm going to spend... Oh, I can't hit with... I'm going to spend this 7 and 2 and 3 to kill the Ghoulish Head and take the Unhallowed as a trophy. So now the Bounty Hunter can exploit and kill Unhallowed, which is pretty strong. So this all moves up. We reveal this because we can see 2 creatures, but we don't reveal any more. I'm going to spend 2 on Flying Kick from the Monk. Flying Kick is choose a revealed creature. I'm going to choose the Scoundrel. Deal to that creature damage equal to the total of your spent dice. The total of my spent dice is the 7, and the 2 I just spent on that for 9. Well, maybe I guess I should Flying Kick the Bone Knight for 9. I shouldn't waste that damage. There's no other Unhallowed or Acolytes in the line, so Bone Knight goes to the graveyard. These cards move up, but we won't see this card. Our fire isn't quite bright enough. Then the Fire Sorceress has a 7 in his range, so she'll blast the Scoundrel for 7. This card will move up, we'll see it. It is a Giant Bat. If that gets to first position, we will swap the Giant Bat with the top Vampire in the graveyard if there are any. Which there aren't. We don't have to be overly concerned about that. But we are running low on dice. I'm going to use my highest dice here, which is a 4, and attack the Scarecrow for 5. But my internal strike, each of my direct attacks deal an amount of extra damage equal to the attack's creature's damage. So because this creature does 1 damage, this is actually a 5, letting me perfectly kill it. So I'll kill the Scarecrow. I'm pretty sure we haven't killed any vampires. Double check so I'm not cheating. So the Giant Bat gets here, but we don't have any vampires, so we're good. We still have 4 cards left, and we are running out of dice. I'll use this 7 to kill the goblins. That's my last dice there. When it's defeated, we reveal a card. Another Scoundrel. Is that it? No, we can kill. I'll exhaust Flying Kick to do 13 damage to Scoundrel. And then I'll use Exploit because this is a Golem and this is a Golem. Defeat a revealed creature in the line whose type matches one of your trophies. I can defeat the Clockwork Soldier. And this bat is going to be the only creature that we can't defeat. And I am going to let that into the Horde, and we will take 1 damage. I'm going to take Internal Strike down. That is the end of the round. And I think I'll play 1 more, and then I'm going to take a quick break to set up for Merchants of Magic. The good news is, well, that's a terrible roll. That's the bad news. Triple 3s. That's a pretty good roll. Oh, that's... We need those 6s. We're definitely going to rest somebody with a 6. Ooh, that's a good roll. 881. Bounty Hunter. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna rest the. When you roll a 1 on a d10, I feel like you pretty much need to rest that person. So I'm gonna rest the monk. So I'll take their rest token and flip it over to ×2. And I'm going to upgrade my dice. And I'm going to change both of my d6s to d8s. I have a 6 and 2, so I get the same values that I have. I spent a 2 on meditate, and this is still my 6 on a d8 now. I'm going to heal flying kick while I'm in camp. I'm going to spend d6 to heal for a coin. And I'm going to heal Inferno. I'm going to heal Engulf over here on the Pyro. And then, oh, we have to do the next location. I keep forgetting that. Tribal lands. We lose 2 firewood. We're still seeing 2. Each time an adventurer defeats a goblin, they may reroll any of their unspent dice. And Sunken Civilization was if no creatures enter the horde, as a group, we could draw an item and give it to someone, which we obviously didn't finish completely. What am I going to do with this last one? I think I'll scout ahead to prevent any rough creatures coming out and for the coins. We get to look. We've got an Acolyte, which is horrible. Sound of Doom shouldn't have been in there. And Floating Mind. Let's keep Floating Mind, and we'll put the Acolyte on the bottom. And then I don't want this Cat's Eye Opal. So since we don't buy anything, I'm going to save up some of my money. A new item enters the market, and it can be placed over something else. So I'll place it over the opal that I don't want. And we're facing 7 creatures, which is much better than we've been facing in the past. That's our lowest yet. So I should be able to mount a good comeback here. Hopefully the chat's working. We haven't had any chat in here, but hopefully everyone can hear me, and I guess I'm doing a good job explaining because we don't have any questions. Maybe people are just watching. They're checking out and browsing the site. So we know we have this Floating Mind. This is a mystery. We've got Crawling Ooze again. To start, I'm actually going to discard this necklace to defeat the Crawling Ooze. Crawling Ooze is immune to direct attacks, but you may discard on 1 item from an adventure on WASP to defeat the Ooze. I'm going to use the Heretic to kill the Ooze. There is a vampire. When the vampire is revealed, it steals the highest available spent die and adds its value to its health. So it's a new type of vampire, different than the original. And lucky for us, we hadn't spent any dice yet. So there's no spent dice to take. So the vampire does nothing. I'm going to use my Ember Flare on the Fire Sorceress to reveal 2 creatures. We'll go here. Holy moly. And here. And then we'll gain 3 firewood for 10. And that Horde Drake is nasty. First position is exhaust 2 abilities. It's actually the original Ember Drake from the first set of Watch. That was its original ability, and we thought it was too punishing. So we saved it and put it on the Horde Drake instead. But the benefit is when you defeat the Horde Drake, you get 2 coins. So it's a little bit more of a balanced card than the Ember Drake would have been in the original. Because the Ember Drake was exhaust 2 cards and lose firewood. It was pretty rough. Okay. What can we do here? Even Pact of Doom can't kill that Horde Drake because it's a 13. So that's rough. I can engulf in flames and defeat second position. So I think my best bet is to Maybe grab an undead. Or should I? Yeah, I'm gonna spend this 8 on the vampire to kill it, to grab it as a trophy. That'll let me engulf the Horde Drake in flames, defeat the creature in second position, and I lose 4 firewood. 1, 2, 3, 4, which means we're not revealing this creature. I do gain 2 coins though, so I can put those in my underneath the merchant to know it's in my pouch. Giant Bat. When we revealed Giant Bat, did we have the... No, we don't have a vampire because I took it away. I was like, I didn't do that, but the vampire never technically entered the graveyard, so we're okay there. Oh, I couldn't have used these abilities yet with Floating Mind. Here, we'll just say we spent a 6 and a 1 to kill Floating Mind. I did cheat though, sorry about that guys. But what I'll do is I'll take this hit from the summon. Okay, summon, we're gonna exhaust a card. I'll exhaust Ember Flare. And we're gonna put in, that's this last summon card though, I only put 2 in the deck. And we're gonna get the Clockwork Knight. When the Clockwork Knight is revealed and enters the line, you search the graveyard for the top 2 Clockwork Soldiers. I know we have at least 1. And they go before the commander in line. I hope we only have 1. We do. So that's unfortunate. We have 4 dice left though, so we may be able to do it here. I'm going to use the Bounty Hunter and exhaust Exploit, using my experience with Unhallowed to kill the Clockwork Commander. Act of Doom is really rough now because we would shuffle the commander back in there. So I'm not going to do that. I'll use this 8 to kill the Clockwork Soldier. And then all the value of my unspent dice would be ticked down, but I don't have any unspent dice, so that's fine. And then we're still only seeing 1, so we're going to go in this last one a little blind. I'm gonna take the risk and spend the 6 here. The Heretic's only close range, so and we'll see the last card. It's an enchanted golem. Its health is increased by the total items equipped by adventurers on the watch, which is currently 0. So it's just an 8. It is a golem. So I would have been able to use Exploit if I had saved my dice. Well, Pact of Doom, which is going to defeat the golem because it's less than 10 on the Unhallowed here. But it does mean we shuffle back the top Unhallowed, the Clockwork Commander, into this small deck of cards. And that is that. That is round 3. So hopefully this quick live demonstration of Swords of the Coin has helped everyone understand how it works and how it plays. I'm going to sign off now for a little bit, and I will be back in approximately 40 minutes, 30 minutes to stream Merchants of Magic. So that'll give me just enough time to clean everything up, get a drink, and get ready for the next stream. I hope everyone's enjoying AWSHUX. Thanks so much for watching. Swords of the Coin should be available soon, so keep an eye out for it at your local store. We should have pre-orders up on our site within the next few weeks. Thanks again for watching.